Susan Jacobs, my partner in crime for 17 years. You instilled a love of learning and a love of Judaism in an entire generation of young people. It was impossible to walk the carpool line or walk the halls of the school and not feel the energy and the excitement just pouring off of those kids. That's the part that everyone saw and everyone admired and felt gratitude. But what they didn't see was you literally saving the futures, and in some cases the very lives, of our most vulnerable kids. For the kids who were afraid, you gave them a place of safety. For the kids who were unsure of themselves, you gave them purpose. And for the kids who lacked the support of teachers or parents, you believed in them and you showed them love. You were with me when I gave a biennial presentation on our Madrachim programs, and I told the participants that while I could show them all of the mechanics of running a program, the reason that you and I were successful is that we genuinely loved those kids. You once joked that while most religious schools struggled to keep kids involved after bar and bat mitzvah, you couldn't figure out how to get rid of them. They sat in your office, they flung themselves all around the religious school office, they blocked your doorway, they were everywhere in the halls and in the classrooms. You gave them safety, purpose, and love. And for so many of them, you changed and lifted the trajectory of their lives. I love you, my friend. I hope that every day of your retirement, you will think back on those kids and smile.
Mazel tov, Susan. It's such a privilege for me to bring greetings to you from the Bennett family here in St. Louis and to send our love and best wishes to you and the whole Temple Bethel community on this wonderful, joyous occasion, an occasion that I know is also bittersweet as the community prepares to celebrate your retirement. But it's a retirement well-earned, and I can speak personally to having had the privilege to work with you for the 10 years during which I spent my career in Charlotte, 10 years during which you brought great joy to the community and great friendship to me and my family, as well as to all those with whom you worked and all those you served. And especially the kind of person that you were and that you are, a person of wisdom and of inspiration and of kindness, a person of great patience, but most of all, a person of joy. So Susan, it is with great joy that I wish you Mazel Tov on this occasion of your retirement and send you all of our love. Mazel Tov.
Hi, Susan. It's Rabbi Jessica Spatelnik, Mates, in Boca Raton, wishing you amazing, amazing things on your retirement. I have so many incredible memories of you from Charlotte. As someone who loves you and loves history, what always was the most fascinating thing was the history of your family in Charlotte. I remember actually, I think your grandmother's funeral and all the stories from your family, which really helped found the city. And then you, just as a human being and a wonderful person, and then at Temple Bethel, just helping that community come to be what it is today. I love you so much. I love seeing you quickly in passing at biennials. God willing, I'll see you in passing one day again soon. I wish you much love and joy and all good things in your retirement. Love you.
Susan Jacobs. There are so many wonderful things that we could say about Susan. Susan the mensch, Susan the educator, Susan the absolute lover of everything having to do with learning. We would have to say that Susan is way more than an Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor. Susan is an Eshet Chochma, a woman of wisdom. And so I remember that we all went around, and when we couldn't consult with Susan, we consulted with the bracelet that said WWSJD. What would Susan Jacobs do? Because in thinking it through and remembering all of the things that we learned from and learned with Susan, we would be able to be better students, better teachers, and better lifelong learners. Susan, you are amazing. You are one of the best people ever to learn from and work with and teach. And thank you so much for all your years of service to our Jewish community. Have a wonderful, wonderful post-work retirement. Take care, Susan.
Susan Jacobs is the kindest, most supportive, most nurturing director of education there ever was. And that's just how she was with me. I've heard she's nice to the kids too. With Susan at the helm of the school, I watched the teachers being transformed from conveyors of knowledge into vessels of Jewish identity and community and love. And I watched the students learn to love Judaism. They would grow up from little tiny CJP tots into big gangly teenagers. And they did it all at Bethel and all at Shalom Park because they knew that they had a home there, because they knew that they had a surrogate mother there in Susan Jacobs. I used to say that I need a bracelet that says WWSJD, because that's the question I ask myself in a hard situation. What would Susan Jacobs do? Susan, you have shaped an entire generation of young people in Charlotte. What an amazing legacy. Thanks for being an incredible teacher, an incredible colleague and mentor and partner. Thanks for just being Susan.